completely different.
Whoa! Happy Hot Topic!
So Jay Cutler got into a little bit of trouble on Thursday night going into Friday morning, and I recorded on Friday. But, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the thing was, I didn't really feel like talking about it because not enough info was out. And it was a bye week for the Chicago Bears. Before I get into what happened with Jay Cutler, in March or April 2009, I was a freshman at John Hersey High School, and we traded for Jay Cutler from the Denver Broncos. And we gave up Kyle Orton, who was a very serviceable average quarterback. Like, he was good. And Jay Cutler was supposed to be the guy who was going to take over the world. He was going to help us win Super Bowls. People in my class were seriously debating if Aaron Rodgers was worse than Jay Cutler. Chicago was drinking the Kool-Aid. Well, here's what happened, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Nothing ever really happened with Jay Cutler. In December 2010, he could have taken the Green Bay Packers out of the playoffs in like the last game of the regular season. That was the same year the Bucs went like 10-6 with, I forget the name of the quarterback, Josh Freeman, and they did not make the playoffs because the Bears could not beat the Packers. So I know all my Tampa listeners probably remember that. But Jay Cutler had a chance to take the Packers out of the playoffs and make sure that they wouldn't make the playoffs in the last game of the regular season. And he throws an interception to Charles Woodson, and the Packers end up winning and going into the playoffs. But all of Chicago was like, that's not that big of a deal. We're going to be on a bye. We're the number one seed in the NFC. We're going to win. Well, what happens? The Packers are the wild card team, and they beat like the Atlanta Falcons. I believe they beat the Giants, and I forget who else. And they beat the Bears in the 2010 NFC Championship, where Jay Cutler was quote-unquote too hurt and was riding on a bicycle the whole game. The dude always had a rotten attitude. The Packers went on to beat Jay Cutler both at the end of the regular season and to go to the Super Bowl, and then they beat Pittsburgh. And that was the last time I got mad about a sports game. I threw a plate to the ground. My dad's like, the game's over, now go do the dishes. And I was really mad. Here's what I'm saying. I also met Jay Cutler one time, and he's not a very nice guy. I think he was forced to play football because he's a fan, or because he was good at it, rather, because he's from Santa Claus, Indiana. And I'm telling you, I think they were like, you have to play. I don't think he ever wanted to play. The dude never had any heart. The dude never wanted to act like he was there. And a lot of people in the Chicago media, I've noticed, because I still keep in touch with Chicago. I'm obviously from there. With my Chicago accent, you know what I mean, Jelly Bean? You can totally tell.
If a Chicago accent and Florida man went on a wild weekend and ended up with a kid, it would be Hoppe Hour with Ryan Hoppe.
Yes.
Tune in for the chaos.
Oh, I keep forgetting that part plays. Here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Everybody in Chicago is afraid to trash him because, like, what if he were to come back and, like, do a radio show like he used to do? So there's a lot of bias of, oh, we wish Jay nothing but the best. No, I'll be the one from Chicago to say it. Screw that guy.
Kristen Cavallari's ex, Jay Cutler.
That's how pathetic you are. You're not even known as former NFL quarterback. You're Kristen Cavallari's ex.
Kristen Cavallari's ex, Jay Cutler, arrested. Here's the mugshot.
He doesn't look so, stoic before. He always kind of had this face like he claims he doesn't care, and he's like, oh, whatever. He looks pretty concerned in this mugshot.
The former NFL quarterback was charged with DUI and gun possession while under the influence.
This is a big wine glass.
Police claim Cutler smelled like alcohol, rear-ended a car, was slurring his words, and had...
I used to play for the Chicago Bears, and I was terrible because I could never win when it mattered, and I had no heart. And now I'm drinking my life away because I made like $100 million, so I'm pretty set for life. And I live in Tennessee where things are pretty cheap because I had to move out of Illinois because no one wanted me there anyway. And also, it's pretty expensive with the taxes. Sorry I hit your car. Sorry.
Slurring his words and had bloodshot eyes. He also allegedly had a loaded pistol in the car.
Jay Cutler, riding dirty.
The 41-year-old reportedly refused field sobriety tests and was taken to a nearby hospital where a blood sample was obtained through a blood search warrant.
From the outside, like, things are so perfect and things are so great, but actually, like, they're not.
Kristen seems like a lot of work. Like, yeah, she's a cutie pie. I don't know why I just clenched my teeth while saying that. That probably came off aggressive on the podcast. Cutie pie. She's cute, but she just seems insufferable, but she's cute.
Jay was married to Kristen for almost 7 years.
You can't ignore red flags. People don't change.
They starred in the reality show.
This is what I've noticed recently. It's this new culture. Kayla Nicole, the ex of Travis Kelce, Maya Henry, the ex of Liam Payne, Kristen Cavallari. I've noticed this thing because women have more rights, which is fine, that feminism is making women think that it's never their fault. I'm not saying it would be nice to be married to Jay Cutler, but when you're going on the Call Her Daddy podcast talking about your ex, again, it's the thing I say every single show. Whenever I talk about these attention-seeking women who are ex-girlfriends or ex-wives, Kristen Cavallari has talent. She's good at what she does, but why are you talking about your ex? I wish my ex is nothing but the best. They both probably don't like me, but if anybody who is affiliated with them is listening, I wish them the best. It was a good time. I learned a lot. That's all you got to say.
You can't ignore red flags. People don't change.
They starred in the reality show Very Cavallari together and share custody of 3 children.
I like how they blur out the kids' faces. It's very nice of them. Also, I like when people do that. You don't always need to show what your kid looks like. Probably good to keep them safe. Also, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the thing is, he hooked up supposedly with one of her friends. So he's definitely like a textbook narcissist, maybe sociopath.
How is the co-parenting stuff going?
I never, to the kids, will say anything bad about Jay. I mean, that's
That's a good woman.
their dad.
Cutler posted $5,000 bond, was released, and has not commented on the charges.
He didn't even really give any comments when he had a radio show. Why would he comment about an arrest?
And there's more legal news. Dancing.
They left this part out in the story. Supposedly he offered the guy like $2,000, or it was like between $2,000 to $5,000 to not report him. I was like, bro, you made millions of dollars over the years, and you're going to offer $2,000 to $5,000? He made $126 million with $54 million guaranteed and $18 million per year. And this is in 2010. That was a lot of money back then. Now this would be like $250 million. You made all this money, bro, and you're not willing to offer more. I don't know. It's just pretty sad. It's just crazy because when you're like a teenager and you watch sports, a lot of times you think these guys are going to care about you, or you care about the city, especially in Chicago where it's like that's all they care about is the Bears. And you realize that they don't care about you. And honestly, it's one of the saddest feelings ever is to realize that when he was playing, it was just a job for him. And we were all rooting for him. And we were all like, please, Jay, win us something. And then he doesn't. That's why I despise him. I'm not going to romanticize the past. Everybody in Chicago, I'll see these posts on social media. Oh my God, Jay Cutler is statistically the best quarterback of all time for the Bears. Have you looked at the past of the Bears? That's not saying much. That's like when you have a girl who's like maybe a 6 out of 10 and she's around a bunch of ugly girls and she looks like a 10 out of 10. That was Jay Cutler throughout the history of Bears quarterbacks.
Happy hour. Happy hour.